catch a plane. It's Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound, this amazing stranger from the planet Krypton, the Man of Steel, Superman. Empowered with X-ray vision, possessing remarkable physical strength, Superman fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice, disguised as a mild-mannered newspaper reporter, Clark Kent.
Lois, what are you doing here?
Oh, just getting the woman's angle on this story.
The mechanical monster! Look out!
Come on, you fool! You want to get trampled?
Now, you wait here. I'll phone this in. Yes, I'll give you the details later, Chief. All right, Lois. Lois! This is a job for Superman.
what a story this is going to make.
The jewels. What have you done with the jewels?
You'll read about it in tomorrow's paper.
Are you going to tell me what happened to those jewels? Won't tell me. You'll soon change your mind. Superman. Step and she's doomed.
That's a wonderful story, Lois.
Thanks, Clark, but I owe it all to Superman.
All right, guys, we are live. Hey, what'd you think of that intro? This is how they used to do it in the old days. They would show a animated short, cartoon, whatnot before the movie. Yeah, that was Superman the Mechanical Monsters. 1941, circa 1941 in November. Yeah, there you go, guys. And it worked out perfect, just as I had hoped. Well, welcome back to another watch party, guys. I know I saw a lot of you not too long ago in our impromptu chat. I am joined by Mr. Furzel. Welcome, Mr. Furzel.
Hey, thanks, Sharon.
Today's movie choice is Mission Impossible from 1996. This was, if you guys are familiar with the TV show, this is a direct I don't want to say ripoff, but it is a direct descendant of the
Yeah.
TV shows that who owned it? Was it Paramount or was it Fox Studios? Owned the rights, wanted to make a movie out of it, brought Tom Cruise on board, and this is the result.
Yeah.
Um, and Mr. Frizzle, what else before we get to the show?
Well, this definitely became something that started a franchise, which I don't think they were expecting. That's lasted up into the modern day. So, and I'm excited for this. This is a good movie.
Yes, this is what kicked off the whole entire franchise. Got a lot to talk about. We're going to have fun with this one. So we should all be synced up right at the Paramount logo, right at the start of the movie, and this is where the intro music starts. All right, make sure everything looks good. All right. Well, if we are all synced up, Mr. Frizzle, you want to do a countdown and we will press play.
This watch party will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play.
Yep, our mission, should we choose to accept this, is to watch this entire movie. Whether you've seen it before a million times, whether this is your first time, let's hear from you guys in the chat, whether you've seen this before, whether this is your first time. And we start into the action.
Yeah. I might have seen this in theaters back in the day. It was back in '96. Yeah, I probably would have seen it in theaters. And it's funny that they deliberately date themselves too. Usually movies don't try to lock themselves into a particular time frame, but this one wasn't afraid of it.
Yeah, sometimes you can't escape it, and it is locked into the time frame it's set in. But I think this movie does hold up after all of these decades. Even though, well, okay, before we get into it, all right, let me do a shout out to all of you guys joining us today. In our YouTube chat, we have Miss Swift, we have Johnny Devick, GH Zoner, Eric, let's see, Mad Matt, welcome everybody. Calbot, let's see, make sure I got everybody, and Alex Peacock, welcome one and all. Over in Discord, I think we've got Matt over there a little bit ago. Calbot, we've got commenting a few minutes ago. So welcome everybody. And Frag Lord sounds like he can't join yet, but he's probably going to join us later on. So yeah, let's have fun with this movie. Even though I'm so burnt out on the franchise as a whole, I don't think I've seen past the second movie. And I think I'd have to refresh my memory as to what the second movie was, because I'm not 100% certain I've seen it.
That would be the John Woo one.
And I would have to maybe see a clip of it. So bear in mind, 1996, I think Tom Cruise had established himself as a box office star. He kind of took the reins on this movie, and I think he has, correct me if I'm wrong, if he has co-producing credits.
Nowadays, yep.
And yep, here we go. This is the one of the most iconic themes. Straight off the TV show.
And I like how this intro also kind of shows you a little bit of the film. It's like if you're paying close attention, it kind of shows you some of the spoilers too. But
it kind of does. But it's so quick that you could probably place the scenes once we see it. So Matt was saying this is his first time today seeing it, first time this morning. Um, Alex Peacock saw this in theaters back in the day, didn't see it again until a rental on tape, then not for decades until I picked up the Blu-ray. Um, and this has been, um, I could call it a big hit. It's been a big hit
Oh
in the
yeah.
rental market, cable. It has really stood the test of time, and it's not because of the franchise, because this movie is solid enough that it has continued the franchise. And I think if we pull up some box office numbers, I would not be surprised if the whole franchise has not netted at least a billion.
Yeah.
Um,
What's also impressive is that even the tech that's featured in this film, even though it's 30 years old at this point, still kind of holds up. I mean, everything that's mentioned in here is still stuff that people still use even today.
yeah, and this was right about 1996 when this came out in the theater. If anybody remembers what that was like, 1996, it had to have been in the summer because this knocked out Twister.
Huh.
Twister had a good run for a couple weeks, and then this came in and knocked it off. Um, and does anybody else remember what was in the theater
Oh, back in 96?
back in 96? Um,
Not Flintstones, that was earlier. The Rock. Oh, yeah.
we can. Um, okay, movies like okay, that's the year of Independence Day, Twister, The
Oh,
Rock, yep, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and The Nutty Professor. And this movie, those round out the highest grossing movies of the year.
yeah. God, how did I forget Independence Day? I actually went to the theaters to watch that one. Jeez.
Um, it was a really big year for movies. It
Oh,
was,
yeah.
yeah, Alex Peacock, it was a good summer of movies.
Yeah.
I believe this came out, if I'm not mistaken, this came out in June. Independence Day came out in July, which I think
Yep.
helped balance out the box office. So not all these movies were scrambling for the same kind of audience.
Yep.
So, okay, keep in mind for all of you that are seeing this for the first time, we can try to follow along the plot. And I think after my pre-watch last night, I think I've got the plot pretty laid out. I think I know what's going on. But it is all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
I definitely had to watch it a couple of times before, over a matter of years, before I really realized, oh, okay, so this is what they were doing at that point, yada yada. I mean, it's dense. You really have to pay attention.
yes. Oh, Alex Peacock is saying, Sharon, our summer of movies could do a replay of just summer 1996 movies for the 30th anniversaries.
Huh. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
We could focus on just a year and like do a whole revisit and like a recapture of that time. 1996 might not be a bad, that is not a bad year because I don't want to speak for all of you because I don't know like everybody's ages. Um, but if we get a year that maybe like all of us remember or all of us had a chance to go to the theaters, but I don't want to leave out any of you youngsters. Um,
Old Johnny
oh,
Devick says Long Kiss Goodnight came out, so it's the best year of movies ever.
okay, Johnny Devick. Oh God, it's the year I saw Ransom in cinema. I remember seeing that in the cinema as well. That came out, if I'm not mistaken, that came out later in the year. I think November, October-ish. Does anybody remember? Ransom, the one with
Oh,
Mel
with
Gibson,
Mel Gibson, yeah, yeah, and Gary Sinise. Yeah,
Gary
I remember that one.
Sinise. Came out, release date was November 8th, 1996. Yep,
Oh
I
wow.
remember seeing that in the theater. Oh, Miss Swift over there in Discord, posting a GIF from that movie, Give Me Back My Son. Oh, that was a good movie. Sonny Dever, are you trying to forget that movie? I think we had talked about it on previous watch parties. I think we have a split crowd. I think some of you like it and some of you didn't. Um, okay, now, are we like knee deep in the plot of this movie? The first plot where they have their mission. Um, we got to see them in action with that first little couple minute intro about what they do. They're all spies. We could call them spies. They work for. Um, okay, so what does it stand for? What is the acronym? Um,
IMF,
yeah. Does anybody
Impossible,
remember what it stands for?
Impossible Mission Force.
And I think they take it straight out of the TV series as well. Um,
I like how
and
in later sequels, like people that hear it, they're like, "That's not the name," and it's just like, "No, no, it's really what we call it." Because it sounds
um,
so corny.
um, and here we have Emilio Estevez, and we had John Voight. We have Tom Cruise. There are a couple other names.
Henry
I mean, we could
Cerna.
call it an all-star cast, right?
Yeah, I think so. Ving Rhames.
Yep, we're going to see Ving Rhames later on. Kristen Scott Thomas. We have Vanessa Redgrave showing up later. So they were able to get some heavy hitters with this. And of course, Brian De Palma has credits for directing it, but I did hear did he quit or
Hmm.
did he take over for the director who quit? Um, or was it they had such a this was a troubled production from the beginning because they started pre-production without a full script. They had script doctors come in to try to tighten it up. It is pretty evident watching this movie where it's just kind of all over the place.
Hmm.
They really did try to tighten it up, and I think it does flow for the most part. We can follow it along, and if you
Yeah.
get lost, just raise your hand and say, "What the hell? What the hell, guys? What's going on? How'd they get here?"
If anyone has questions, there'll be a
Just raise
post.
them.
Yeah, there'll be a
Yep.
post discussion at the end.
Yep. But you can pretty much follow this. It does
Yeah.
have a plot that you can follow and not get too lost. But I did hear, I can even check it real quick. Brian De Palma pulled himself out of it either towards the end or I think it was in post production. He was like, "I'm done. You guys are screwing this up."
Hmm.
But so yeah, we have this IMF force. Who we don't know exactly who they work for, but they are like a covert government agency that they are working to get
Yeah.
a list to
I've got
match the
a,
list that was stolen.
and I've got a question for the chat. I'm surprised now that I think about it, why Peter Graves never made a cameo in this. And he was definitely making cameos in the 90s, especially with the Men in Black movies. So, chat, do you know why Peter Graves never shows up in this thing?
Um, if I am not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he was the one. I think they did want him to, but he either saw the script or there was something about it that he's like, you guys, this is nothing like the show, and pulled himself out. Or was he the one, wasn't even asked? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm asking. I mean, it seems
Um,
pretty good. Oh, Martin Landau. Yeah, they didn't get him either. Yeah, so I'm wondering why some of these guys that were in the old TV show didn't show up in this, even though, they were still active at the time.
Yep. So it is reported Peter Graves despised the script's decision to make his character as a traitor. So they did.
That's what.
Yep. And he's like, I'm out.
I thought that
Which
was I thought that was a great twist, actually.
wouldn't that have been? Yeah. So we don't want to give away too much, but he was. I think he was tagged to be in it. Miss Swift is saying, I think Emilio was recruited by his friend Tom for this film. Quite possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Matt is saying, if you lose the plot, the secretary will disavow any knowledge of your entertainment. You're on your own. That's right. We're on our own.
I find this interesting too that Emilio Estevez is in this, and then this is the only film in the series he's in. I mean, other than they go into flashbacks, then in the later films. But well, then again, Estevez was quite popular in the early '90s. He was in a bunch of things, obviously. Look at those! Look at those computers with the back boxes. What do you want, sweetie? What do you want?
How about I had noticed that Emilio is also uncredited in this.
Oh wow! I did not know that.
There are a lot of stars that do uncredited work, and there's a reason why they want no credits in it, even though we know it's Emilio.
Huh?
So I don't know. It's a creative choice, I guess.
Yeah.
Johnny Demick is saying it's that the first appearance of the yellow bastard. The tech in this is
It still kind of holds
I think
up.
it was high tech for
Yeah,
that time.
it still kind of holds up. Like the watches, like the smart watches. We got those. We got smart glasses. We have those. I mean, internet access
Yep.
and controllability. I mean, the way it looks is dated, but I think they did a good job at showing the tech that still matters, still is something we use today. So other than the cassette tapes, that's probably the only thing from this era that probably people wouldn't recognize.
And they are in Prague, I believe.
Yeah.
And that was, I believe it was Tom Cruise's, he pushed for that actual shooting on location, which raised the budget by an extra 10 to 15 million. But it did pay off
Yeah.
because it was very profitable.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the discs, these little
Floppy disks.
what 2.5 inch disc, not the 3.5 inch, play a big role, and that was our storage back then.
Oh yeah.
I remember back in the days, we weren't measuring in gigabytes or terabytes.
It's like kilobytes.
Yep, it was.
Of course, I guess if they made this today, it'd all be like flash drives and things.
Or they get it in the cloud,
That's right. That's
or
right.
satellites. Oh, Calbot. Tom Cruise had previously made a similarly uncredited cameo in Estevez's earlier movie, Young Guns.
Calbot, what role was
Did we
Cruise
know
in Young
that?
Guns? I'm pretty familiar with that film. I don't remember Cruise being in that.
I don't remember that either. But see, that would make sense. And if they're friends, Amelia would just be returning the favor.
Yeah, yeah, but man, that'd be something to have Cruise in a Western.
Okay, here's where, I mean, the shit is hitting the fan.
And I always
Not
wondered what
only,
And I always wondered what that was. Those like spike things that broke out in the elevator. Was that something by design for trespassers, or was that just a malfunction? Like I don't understand how why a thing would have that.
um, I would guess it was a mechanical way of stopping the elevator. Um, you're right. It doesn't seem to fit mechanical spikes that would come out and um, basically impale anybody that was on top of the elevator. Um, but yeah, now their mission, because they're all supposed to be covert, you get into a situation and you get out, nobody will even know you're there. That's the whole premise of
Hmm.
this group. And now they're getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt is saying it keeps the pigeons out. Yeah, just in case they're hanging out on top of the elevator.
And Calbot says that have not seen Young Guns, but according to IMDb, Tom Cruise was Murphy henchman uncredited. Interesting. I should go back and watch. I've got Young Guns in my collection. I've seen it several times, but I never noticed Cruise there anywhere. He must have been like a extra, I guess, off screen or something.
Uncredited. He's a henchman. Okay, I'm going to write that down.
I mean, I think that's one of the genres that Cruise hasn't really delved into that he could if he wanted to was Western. That and a horror film probably.
Yeah, that's true. He has. Oh well, no, he was the movie The Others with Nicole Kidman in it. I believe he was involved, but I think he was like an executive producer. But you're right. I
Hmm.
don't think he's ever acted
Yeah.
in too many horror movies. Vampire Lestat
Yeah. Well,
would be,
yeah,
yeah,
I
Interview
that's true.
with the Vampire would count.
Yeah, yeah, that would count certainly. Well, Giant Devic,
Right.
he was in one Western. Which Western was he in?
I think he's referring to Young Guns, unless it was
Oh,
another movie. But yeah, Tom Cruise is basically stuck to
accent.
these action movies
Yeah.
because he gets away with doing his own stunts.
Yeah, and we always get a running scene.
Yeah, we got to get a running scene. Um, so yeah, okay, guys, one by one, the crew is getting slaughtered.
Yeah. And there's good subversion here too,
Um,
because the movie
mhm.
comes back to this, shows us flashbacks and things, and shows us things that we missed the first time around that were there. So, I mean, this definitely was a well written movie.
And I can imagine, yeah, speaking of the writing, I can imagine how, given the complexity of this story, that the writing was probably all over the place and it included a lot of extra stuff that we didn't need, but that explained the story.
Yep.
Because there are some times that we're not given an explanation and we are kind of left wondering, okay, we might have wanted a little bit of backstory on that, but you really did have to tighten this up because there is so much.
Yep.
Um, oh, see, there was a mention. Miss Swift is mentioning Far and Away. Matt is mentioning Far and Away, and I guess that's a Western with Nicole Kidman as well.
Far and away.
I hadn't seen that.
Hmm. Is that the one where he and Nicole play Irish people? I can't remember.
Far and Away from 92. And there is, yeah, Alex Peacock is saying it's a Western from Ron Howard.
Huh.
It's an American epic Western romantic adventure drama film.
Oh, wow. Let me check this
Okay.
out. I think I
There you
think I remember what we're talking about, but
Yeah, he's a couple with Nicole Kidman, I think, because they were married at the time.
Far and Away. What
Um,
do you call it a Western? Huh.
yeah, Miss Swift is saying, yeah, the Irish immigrant couple.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I remember this. Right. I didn't really think of it much of a Western, though. The Land Run of 1893. Well, I guess that would make it a Western.
Okay, here we go. We got a lot of Tom Cruise running. Yes, and Miss Swift over there in Discord having a gif of Tom Cruise running. He just runs all the time.
It's good cardio.
And yeah, one by one, they're dying.
And that's kind of become like his calling card, especially in the more recent Mission Impossible films. Whenever they come out, there's got to be like one insane Tom Cruise stunt that he's done himself, and there's got to be at least one long running take.
Yeah, and the latest one, when the last one came out, what, last year or
Yeah,
the year before?
Final Reckoning.
Is that the one with that insane motorcycle jump, like in a canyon, and he grabbed the side of the mountain, or he grabbed
Yeah,
a helicopter or
that
something
was
like that?
it was Dead Reckoning, I think, is what you're talking about. He drives a motorcycle off a hillside,
Okay.
and he then like parachutes onto a train or something, and yeah. And then Final Reckoning, the last movie, he's basically, gallivanting on a biplane or two biplanes, really.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, good
He
for
is
exactly.
60 years old, and if the studio writes off on it and says, yeah, dude, go ahead, and he says, I can do
Good
it,
for him.
okay, go ahead. Um, yep, so Johnny Devick asks, is this a burn notice? We shall see.
Yeah.
He is, as far as he knows, he is the last one left. Someone wiped out the entire team.
And I like his
Um,
energy here because he's like,
mhm,
look, it's not just about my team being dead. Like the list is in the open. Like,
right.
the mission we were doing has failed, and now, all our agents are in trouble. But Kittredge is just like, all right, just come in, and then we find out what the real motive was.
Right. And I think at this point, we are led to think that Kittredge, who he's on the phone with, is his handler.
Yeah.
Because that would be who he would contact, and the handler would get him out to safety. Um, and so the plot so far is it's the list now that's out in the open that matches the disc that was stolen, that you match up those lists, and then all of these covert spies I think in Europe, all over
Yeah.
Europe, if you match these files up, it will give away the identities of
Yeah.
these spies.
Yeah.
So just because one has been exposed, it's fine, but you expose the counterpart, and that's bad.
Yeah. And do we know if
So I get it.
this aquarium restaurant is a real place in Prague, or was this just a set they made? Because it's pretty impressive.
I think this was a set but I believe it's still set in Prague, but
Yeah.
that tank was a prop that Tom Cruise, I think, had major balls at this time, because I think at this point in his career, he was still pushing for him to do that stunt. He wanted to do it.
Oh yeah.
And I think the studio was pushing back. There was a ton of water, upwards of
1,000
like 50
gallons.
to 60,000
Yeah.
gallons, and glass. Um, so my research indicates that the studio was obviously worried for Cruise's safety, and he almost drowned, but he didn't.
Almost
Um,
drawing the guy that can hold his breath for like 8 minutes or something ridiculous. Like,
and do his own stunts.
yeah,
Yeah, drowned, probably not. John Devick asks, is that the dad from Revenge TV series?
that's if we're talking about Kittredge, that's Henry Zerna. He showed up again in the Dead Reckoning movie, but I don't know what else he's been in since then, since '96.
Uh, let's see.
And what I do like is while Cruz is going around the room and seeing these other agents, like you actually, if you go back and watch the film, like these other agents are in the background, like so it was good. It was good writing. It wasn't just like just just gaslighting us. Like you look at the footage, they're there.
And there are just spies everywhere.
Yeah, it's all a
Um,
mole.
yeah, what is this guy's name again?
Kittredge.
What the actor's name?
Oh,
What is his
Henry
name?
Zerna, is Czerna, I think.
There we go. So yeah, he did show up in some of the later Mission Impossible movies. Um, yeah, Johnny Depp. I don't know. I'm searching his name. Um, he's been in a lot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this he was in this one, and then I think it wasn't until like the seventh Mission Impossible that he returned. So it was quite a long gap between his appearances in these films.
Yes, he was. He was in Revenge as Conrad Grayson from 2011 to 2014. That is him. Good eyes. So at this point in the movie, we don't know whether Kittredge is a good guy or bad guy. Yeah,
Right.
he is one of those guys, Alex Peacock, because he has been in so many things. We know him from somewhere, but I can't place him in any specific thing. Um, obviously,
Oh,
Kittredge is questioning Ethan because he already says there is a mole,
yep.
and
I love that line. You've never seen me
you've
very
never seen
upset.
me. You don't want to see me when you don't, not when I'm angry. I
Right.
don't want to be angry.
Hasta lasagna, don't get any on
Yeah.
ya. And I love how they bring that gadget back a couple of times as a plot device. It's clever.
So it's not like a James Bond where you would see a gadget at the beginning of the movie and you're like, yeah, we'll see that gadget once when it matters. And then he would use it once and we'd never see it again.
I love that Cruz has to jump over this dude, this other stuntman, to dodge all the water.
That's a lot of water.
Oh man, it's a great shot. Great stunt all
Yeah.
around. I wouldn't mind visiting.
So is this the conversation that there was an implication that this mission was to bring out the mole?
Right.
Are
They
we
were
there?
trying to find the whole mission was just to try and find a mole, like a spot, like someone who's working as a
Yep.
double agent. And so that's why everything had happened. And, that's what Kittredge was looking for. But, even though we know that Tom Cruise's character is innocent, Kittredge obviously knows he's the only one that survives. So obviously he becomes the main suspect.
Right.
And now he's on
And
the
I
run.
don't think we're giving any spoilers away because we all know Tom Cruise does come back as Ethan Hunt in all
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
subsequent
right.
sequels.
Yeah.
Um,
Statute of limitation on 30 years or so.
yeah, exactly. Um, but there's a lot of twists and turns in the plot, but now we get to an interesting So we're getting to where all the twists and turns are going to start because he's got to clear himself. But
Yeah.
who do you go to clear yourself? And so if this is the safe house,
They have a bidet.
I guess they're big in Europe and have always been a big deal in Europe. But I would assume that he wouldn't want to go back to the safe house because that could have been compromised. Because if someone just killed your entire team, I don't think the safe house would be safe.
Well, either that or it was like the last place they would expect for you to go. Would be the place you most expect them to be. I guess it's kind of like a, 3D chess kind of move.
Oh, maybe he's just trying to like 2000 IQ him.
That's right. What, baby? What are you doing?
Although, we can kind of compare these to kind of the Jason Bourne movies. Because wasn't it in the first one that Jason Bourne went to his safe house, but nobody else knew that he had that safe house.
Yeah.
So here's like the company safe house, but yeah. Okay, so the person they're looking for, Job 314, was, okay, follow me and help me if I get this wrong. Job 314 is who wants to buy the disc, right?
Yeah.
So they have to find out who Job is to uncover the plot.
Swifty, I'm right there with you. Usernet groups, we had to like search for like individual chat rooms. That's definitely the dawn of the AOL age.
And the days of dial-up internet. I'm sure this was still dial-up. This was not high speed. This was not even a high-speed modem. This was a phone line.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Alex Peacock is saying Job is Vanessa Redgrave. So Job is the one that...
Actually, Job is the one
buyer.
who is hired to do the job. So Vanessa Redgrave is Max, and she hired Job to get the list. And so Tom Cruise's character is trying to impersonate Job, or rather, get Max's attention so that he can figure out who Job is.
Oh, yeah, this takes me back to some of the early chat rooms on the internet. It's so archaic to us now,
Oh, yeah.
but it was like a big deal.
It was a big
That's
deal
when
I was younger.
that's when I discovered just how deceitful the internet was, and that nobody is who they say they were. And you go into a chat room for, a specific genre, whatever your taste was, but people infiltrated. They were trolls back then.
I remember thinking it was a real neat thing to go online and go into like a Nickelodeon chat room way back in the day.
Right. And you would think it was a safe place for kids?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, nope.
All right. Is he seeing? What is his name? Jim?
Jim Phelps,
say-
yep. He was
Yep.
Peter Graves' character.
So here's Claire. So Jim and Claire are married. Obviously, Claire did not get killed. Okay, so how did she escape? See, okay, Miss Swift posted over there in Discord, you're doing a great job.
Homestar Runner. Talk about early 2000s Swifty.
Oh, wow. Yep.
You know, I was all about the Homestar Runner back in the 2000s, man. I bought their merch. I
Takes
watched
you
their
back.
videos. I was addicted.
Um, Anybody that hasn't seen this movie, any guesses as to how this movie's going to resolve? Um, what I like about this movie, and I'm not sure about any of the other ones in the franchise, this is only about an hour and what, 45 minutes long, hour and 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
It goes quick. There's not much wasted space. It really could have dragged on a lot longer,
Oh yeah.
but it's pretty quick. Johnny Devick, it's dead, Jim. Yes. Is Jim dead? Dead. Jim is dead. So
Swifty, I actually
let's
have
unravel.
the Homestar Runner. I have a Homestar Runner shirt. I've got a board game. Got the figurines. I mean, you talk about it. I went back in the day. I bought most of it back in my
Wow, there
early
was a
days.
game?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. And you know what? They have an active website still.
Oh yeah. They
So
used to update
shows
every
you the
week.
longevity.
Yeah, they used to update every week, and then after a while, then it become like once every couple of years they would update with like a new cartoon or something. So that's kind of where they're at now. But yeah, I remember those 2000s, man. That was a time on the internet. Johnny Devick says all this happened while Robert Redford ate lunch. What?
That's in reference to the watch party we did, 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Robert Redford goes out for lunch, is not gone very long, and comes back. Everybody's dead. So yeah, now we have to figure out who wanted him dead, why. Um, does Ethan come out unscathed? So this is just a generic whodunit and why. But I really enjoy this movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And like I said, I had to watch it a couple of times before I really understood all the angles to it. What's also funny is that this guy, this character actor who's sitting at the bench here, he shows up again, I think, in like Dead Reckoning or one of the
Oh,
later Mission Impossible films. He's kind of a little Easter egg. This long-haired dude. Would you stop playing with my chips? Get over there.
are they still in Prague, or
Ah,
did they move to the UK?
that's a good question for the chat. I'm not really sure where we're at right
Yeah,
now.
because at some point the movie then switches to London, I believe, or if it was filmed in London. Oh, Miss Swift is saying the Trogdor game was kickstarted. Oh, I
Yeah.
love Kickstarter. Um, you know what? For any of you that missed my chat before this watch party, I would love to do it again. And you know what? We could narrow our next talk down to I would love to talk about independent media. Anybody outside the normal what system of the way it's done now with the movie studios and the big names. Um, I backed one of the board games from Kickstarter, The Final Girl, um,
Oh,
and because I so appreciate independent thinkers and
yeah.
people that are outside of the box thinkers. we could have a whole chat on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Miss Swift. Vanessa Redgrave.
There we go.
Ah, she is timeless. Ah, and she has probably got the most substantial filmography of probably anybody in this movie. And I think she's still going strong.
Let's see.
Is she an EGOT winner? She might be an EGOT winner. Maybe or maybe not. But I mean, she's known for theater, movies, some television. I don't know her from really a lot of television, but it's usually the theater and the movies.
Yeah, she's still kicking around at 89.
Yep.
Lots of Shakespeare, which I respect. Apparently, she's ranked as the 9th greatest stage actress of all time. Wow.
Oh, who's rated number 1?
That's a good question. Well, this is according to The Stage, which is a British monthly magazine. She had a long-term relationship with Timothy Dalton. That's interesting.
Still? That's interesting.
No, I don't think still, but at least at one time. Huh.
Johnny Devick is mentioning, I want to make a Dark Souls Easter Vacation board game. Oh, I'm all for it.
Redgrave received an Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, 2 Emmys, an Oliver, 2 Golden Globes, the Screen Actors Guild Award, and a Tony. So is that the EGOT? That's
nope. So she's missing a Grammy.
Okay. So she's got the Emmy, she doesn't have the Grammy, but she has the Oscar and the Tony.
Right. And I think now they've made a new category to top the EGOT. I think they call it a PGOT with the P for like a Pulitzer.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's for journalism. I mean, how can you expect someone who's in entertainment?
Exactly. Okay, what's better than a EGOT? Oh, Peabody or a Pulitzer.
Oh, I see.
But I don't know. Are there any PGOT winners out there?
That'd be a great trivia question.
Anybody know if there's a PGOT winner? Because you would have to be in the industry for a very long time and be multi-talented.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's upwards of almost 30 people who have gotten EGOTs. But no PGOT that I can see. But there is that level. Go figure. Yep, Alex is saying Vanessa is the mother of Natasha, wife of Liam Neeson, who passed away, I believe, 15 years ago? 15, 20 years ago? Yeah, Alex, I was checking the EGOT list. One of them must have a Peabody for something, but I'm not seeing any PGOTs. I could be mistaken. So if any of you out there can search and find of anybody, I'd be interested to know.
I love the classic fedora and trench coat that Kittredge and his men are wearing coming in here.
Yeah, you want to blend in, that's not the way to do it.
And that's also establishes a link because apparently the CIA trained these people. So apparently the IMF is like a spin-off of the CIA.
Well, let's have a. I'm going to throw it out to the chat because I am under the impression we never really know what government agency is their umbrella, but it
Right.
would have to be some kind of intelligent agency.
Yeah.
It's got to be mentioned somewhere in one of the movies or somewhere in the TV show. I think there's a brief mention, but other than that, we're left to not know.
Well, they answer to the secretary. I'm assuming that's the Secretary of Defense. So that's less like their
Could
boss
be.
boss. But yeah, as to who goes underneath that, I guess it's anyone's guess.
Maybe they don't even know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's so uh, subversive and they don't even know who they work for, which would make sense. Culpable deniability. You wouldn't want to know that
Yeah.
your um, your spies under you know who they work for.
Yeah, Alex Peacock. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's like I think even in the later films, it's shown to be the Secretary of Defense is the one that they answer to. Um, yeah, and them and their whatever you call it, I guess.
So okay, so Ethan is now connected with Max. Max knows that at least Ethan was telling the truth. That if you use that disc, they will trace you.
Yeah,
So I think that was just to form that bond.
yeah.
Um,
Because Kittredge mentioned Max is finding a way to make IMF agents turn over to her side. She's a arms dealer, a drug dealer, so he
ah,
basically used that tip in order to find her, so that he could then try to find Job, the guy that betrayed them all, basically.
so we don't know who Job is.
Not yet.
And okay, Matt. Matt says this seems like the point in the movie upon my first watch this morning where I checked out and didn't care what was happening. There is a lot going on. Okay,
Bing Rames and Jean
so
Reno.
and yep, so these two actors, I love them. I
Love
love them.
these guys.
Um,
Jean Reno will always be Leon.
oh, yes. That was that movie. What do they call that movie now? When I watched it, it was The Professional.
Now they call it Leon the Professional, like subtitle.
Okay. When I first saw that movie, it was when it first came out, I believe, on the rental market. A very young Natalie Portman.
Yep,
Um,
I remember that.
it blew my mind. It was very surprising, and I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. So check it out.
Yeah. Alex Peacock says Jean Reno, always that guy from Ronin, both the film and the video game.
There you go.
He was the only good
Yep.
thing. Old Johnny Devick. He was the only good thing in Emmerich's Godzilla. I think there were some funny things about that film, honestly, other than the fact that it was grossly unconnected to the Godzilla lore. But I liked a couple other things.
Miss Swift, baby Natalie Portman, I thought it was kind of boring. That's fair. Now,
Oh,
all
my
of a
friend
sudden,
Nikita.
Ethan found these guys, hired them out of the blue. Out of the blue. We just cut to
The
he's
disavowed
taught.
list.
I would have liked to know in what underground network did you find these guys? Are they in the phone book? For being
Well,
on the outs with every government agency, they shouldn't be that easy to find.
in the scene previous, they were looking
Right.
at the knock list they had, and they were looking at the disavowed list, the list of agents who were disavowed because they failed a mission, and so they just kind of had to disappear. So that's where they found these guys.
Yeah, you just like ring them up in the phone book.
Well, I mean, on his computer screen, he was pulling up the disavowed list, and so
Right.
yeah, I don't know if their names were on the screen, but it's implied that they were part of those list of agents.
Yeah. Um, Obviously, he thinks he can trust these guys. Yeah, like they were kicked out because of a mishap of some kind, and they're just, go about your merry way. We don't want to use you anymore.
Yep.
Um, and here we go. We're going to fast forward to a whole new setup where this is the other part of the list now that they have to break into Langley to get. And I tell you right now, nobody is ever breaking into Langley, but it's fun that this movie thinks they can. So we're gonna run with it. This is kind of like Ocean's 11 and
Yeah.
Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13. You just have to suspend your disbelief and you're like just running with the story, having fun. Because we are coming up to one of the epic entrances and escapes.
Yep.
And we probably all remember this from trailers and posters. So
I remember
how
this in the
are they
theater.
going to break into Langley? Yes, okay. Marcellus Wallace don't like to be fucked by anyone except Mrs. Wallace. Love that movie. Love it.
Well, John Devick
That was
says
a funny line.
this is like the Olsen Bondin. Well, John Devick, my German's a little rusty. You're gonna have to clarify that one for me. When you break out the theme, you know things are about to get real.
Dun, 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 doo-doo.
And you know, it's funny because I live in Baltimore, obviously, but there's when I go far enough south, there's a exit to the NSA, and I know that you don't take that exit unless you actually work there because they tell you they have a sign on that exit. It's like if you take this exit, you need to be working for us, otherwise you're going to be stopped. And so it's
Cool.
like when I drive past it, on the Baltimore Washington Parkway, like I'll see like it curves off and to the right, and then there's like a guard station and a few other things. So yeah, I mean NSA is obviously not the same thing as the
Careful.
CIA, but same same ballpark.
Yeah, and if you didn't belong there and you took the exit by mistake, you would have a tail on you within 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So you had better be careful.
Well, John Davick says,
Good hope.
well, there was this movie series in Scandinavia that had this three loser bandits trying to plan each movie, and the leader ended in prison after each failed movie. It was a Danish thing first. Okay, interesting.
Oh, okay. Is this the one? Or it says originating in Denmark in 1968. The 14-film franchise follows a lovable trio of harmless, bumbling thieves led by the criminal genius Egon Olsen. I have
14
never heard
films.
of that.
Holy shit.
14-film franchise.
Good Lord.
It's got Mission Impossible beat.
Led by Egon.
Huh. Hey, any relation?
Right.
Huh. Okay. Johnny Devick says, yeah, it's the same one.
Wow.
All 14 Olsen Banden films in order. Oh, it's on IMDb. Nice. That is so cool. The last one, actually, it says it came out in 1998. So it started in 68, went to 98.
Wow.
That
30 years.
that is a good longevity for
Oh
it.
yeah, it's about the length of this franchise. Really started in '96 and ended last year,
Is there going
or
to
at
be any
least
more?
for yeah, well, at least for now. I mean, the ending was ambiguous, but I don't
Okay.
know if I don't know if Cruz is going to be pushing himself that hard much anymore. He may though. He may try to set a record, I guess.
Well, if he's fit enough, he can stay in the industry as long as he wants.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Johnny Devick says, "Guess all the actors are dead." Well, that'll definitely stop a franchise after a while.
yeah. The original actors, probably from 1968, are probably.
That makes
Um,
me think of like other European franchises that people aren't here aren't that well known about, like Taxi. Like in the UK, Taxi had like a franchise that ran like 4 or 5 films, but we got the crappy remake with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah in it, and ugh. But anyway, but the ones that were made in Europe, I think Besson, I think the guy behind Leon the Professional helped make those, and those were pretty good. Yeah, Calbot, I think you're right.
yeah.
Tom Cruise is definitely uninsurable at this point.
Um, Interesting. Probably because of his age. I mean, he's got to be pushing it.
Yeah, he's
Um,
pushing. He's in his 50s. He's got to be hitting 60 soon.
okay, so the movie Taxi from 2004, totally under my radar. I never even knew that existed until you mentioned it.
Yeah,
Taxi 2, 3, 4, 5.
yeah, yeah. They
Oh,
were.
wow. Okay.
I remember seeing like I saw bits of one of them, but I don't know that they were ever released over here. But it was Luc Besson, so I was like, oh, this guy made La Femme Nikita and Leon, and so that's kind of why I got into it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, good point, Alex. If Keanu can do John Wick stuff still, Cruise can do MI films until he kills himself. I think if it just means he's uninsurable because of him doing his own stunts, he should be insurable if he just is an actor and lets the stuntmen do it.
Yeah.
The problem is nobody wants to see Tom Cruise die doing a stunt for a movie. Um,
I don't know. That might up the publicity
Unless
for
Tom
that
Cruise
flick.
doesn't mind.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a terrible way to go.
Yeah.
Just for the vanity of doing your own stunts, you'd be risking it. But yeah, if he's pushing 60, get out of the stunt game. Get out, man.
Like Miss Swift posted that gif from Leon with Gary Oldman. Just everyone. Apparently, that line was also ad-libbed at the time by Oldman when the other actor was just like, "Who should we get?" And he's just like, he just blasted it out.
Oldman is so intense.
Oh yeah, I love his intensity in that film. He is a great villain in Leon, the Professional, whatever you want to call
Yep.
it.
Yeah, when it came out, it was called The Professional, but then it changed its name for some reason.
Well, it was originally called Leon, when it was released in France, I think.
Uh,
So they just kind of amalgamated the names together.
okay, Calbot is saying Tom Cruise will be 64 this July.
The shoot
Oh,
is raced.
yeah, just retire, dude. It's okay. It really is. Just retire. Okay, so the scene in the cafeteria break room where she was allowed to get that close and put that stuff in his drink. I don't buy it for 1 second that they would ever have allowed it. She would never have gotten that far into the depths of Langley. Um, maybe it was different back in the 90s, but
Well,
they wouldn't just let anybody.
she was one of the firefighters, and she dipped into the room to change her clothes, and then she comes out, and it's just like, I belong here. It's like, that makes sense. Like 90% of it is like if you act like you belong there and do the thing, then people aren't really going to question it.
Yeah, well, it makes for a good movie.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, look up. All he's got to do is look up.
Yeah, but how often do we do that, really?
In a brightly lit room, wouldn't you notice something going on above you?
And well, I mean, in this case, the floor is reflective, so that would be another thing.
I don't know. Well, but he has access at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I get it. For a spy movie, this is how you infiltrate.
Yeah.
There are other films that come to mind where you infiltrate either through an ambulance or firefighters, police. They'll let you in and then you just kind of blend in.
Al- Alex, can I ask, what is the Crayola 64 crayons gift for? He posted that in Discord. I'm just wondering.
Oh, yeah, that is interesting. Johnny Devick says Charlie's Angels spoofed this.
Oh, so
They in their
apparently
first movie, I think.
before. Okay, I get it.
That's a good reference. 64 crayons.
What about like When I'm 64 by the Beatles, Alex? I would have figured that would have come first.
Yeah, this scene with Tom Cruise um, in this room has been spoofed in a lot of places.
Oh yeah, I remember back in the 90s. Yeah, I mean, a lot of movies were spoofing this. Leslie Nielsen spoofed this at least once with his flick. Yeah, it was all over the place.
Yeah, this is very clever. For a spy movie in an impenetrable room, that would be the way to do it. That would be
Yeah.
the only way that you could access it. That's a good one, Miss Swift. Over in Discord, she posted that. I'm just going to leave this here. Leon the Professional 2 official trailer from 2026, which is a total spoof, by the way,
I like that
but having her all grown up.
Old John Devick says that, pretty soon Tom Cruise will be 6'7". You know, got my
Yeah.
students still throw that at me. I'm just like, what are you doing? And they can't tell me.
It's because it's a pointless trend, isn't it? Nobody knows. Nobody knows where it came from. Okay, so this is Leon needs to be professional. He needs to be professional here, and he's about to not be professional.
Well, if you got allergies, you got allergies. You can't really help that. Oh, look at those CD mini disc things.
Mini
Those were,
CDs.
yeah, they were on the rise back in the mid '90s. I remember.
So they have to keep the decibels down. They have to keep the temperature constant. You can't step on the floor. Um, what else? They should have also had a locking mechanism on the computer to not allow anybody to be able to use it if they don't sense anybody in the room.
True.
But hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah, they went to that much sophistication. You'd think that they would just have the computer locked out during that time too. Oof,
Oh, almost. Almost.
almost.
He's like an inch from the floor.
So I always assumed that he just like headbutted the rat, and that's what he did to stop it. But Chad, do you know any further information about what he did there, or did he really just like smash it with his head?
And then just grab the rope tighter.
That's right. Eric says he still has his mini disc player. Good for you, bro.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they made them any. Well, they probably don't make them anymore. This is probably years from the, what, 2000s? Early 2000s?
And the temperature is getting close to a full degree. Once that happens, they're caught too.
Yep.
This is really tense. I love that they didn't use any music and they kept cutting back and forth between Don Lowe and the actors doing their thing, but there was no sound.
Yeah, because you have to keep the decibels down. So to make that scene feel realistic, like we're there, they did. They cut out the background noise. Oh yeah, Matt, the floor is lava. Yeah, exactly.
And because the rope isn't on the line anymore, it's making noise, but
But yeah, I think it's once the guy swipes his credentials and gets approved, then all those, as we've seen on the wall there, intrusion countermeasures, you'll know whether they're on or off.
I still remember in the theater when, he drops the knife and everyone was like,
Yep. Hey, that sign right there, intrusion countermeasures on or off, you can't tell me they would have that at Langley. That's for the audience's benefit, so
Right.
we know. Oh, Alex is saying the knife returns in the last movie.
Yeah, you're right. In the Final Reckoning, they and also in the Dead Reckoning, the movie before, which was kind of like a two-parter deal, they did reference several things from this first film to kind of like tie everything together.
So even back in the 90s, they had a keystroke logger. Too bad they didn't think of locking down the entire network computer.
Right, just like leaving the computer off while the countermeasures were in place. That would make sense.
Oh well, they didn't ask me for my opinion. Miss Swift is saying good old CD carts. I remember my high school got a CD reference encyclopedia that hand this rack that you used instead of the card catalog. Oh boy, guys, remember the old-fashioned card catalog? It was about the size of a wall.
Yeah.
And now everything, yep, and then they did it on CD, and now everything is just online.
Yeah. The Dewey Decimal System.
Oh my God. We had to learn it in class, the whole Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah.
I agree, Johnny Devick. The people under the stairs had better home security than this. And if you haven't seen it, that is a fun little horror movie from, I want to say, early 2000s.
Yep. Let me see.
Whoops.
Under the stairs.
The people under the stairs. 91.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought it was from the 2000s, but no, and it has Ving Rhames in it as well.
Yep.
There we go. We got a tie-in. Um, so now he has the true authentic disc,
Yeah.
which would
Swifty,
be
I don't think we've ever done a watch party for that, so
no.
it could be on the list.
Oh, it's on my list though, and I saw it not too long ago. Um, and it does hold up, but I did not realize it was from '91.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Mad Matt posted that GIF from Ghostbusters, and that is a extensive card catalog. Oh my goodness. I would hate to put those cards back. No, thank you. Yeah, Miss Swift, it is on the list.
I didn't know that Chat, do you know if Tom Cruise actually, well, I'm assuming he actually did these tricks because he's in the shot, but it's like, did he have to learn this or did he always kind of know these sleight of hand maneuvers?
Yeah, because he seemed pretty proficient at it. So he either knew a little magic before or really trained for it.
Yeah.
That's true, because when he was in that computer room, he had 2 discs, but he only put the info on one. Right? Or was he just now copying the data from one disk to the other?
He's got that
Don't know.
like leather sport coat. It's like a telltale sign of like either an assassin or a spy if you wear like a leather sport coat.
Wouldn't that be an indicator he would be a bad guy, right? Oh, we have a clue.
The
A
Drake
clue.
Hotel, Chicago. I've actually I didn't stay at the Drake Hotel, but I was at Chicago last year actually. Saw that.
Is that a real hotel?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A little too fancy for my
Hmm.
blood at the time.
Oh, Matt, I know exactly what gif that is. The Paul Rudd gif of him doing that magic trick. That's from Ant-Man.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we got to do some Marvel movies. Oh, that'll be fun. I thought Ant-Man was a lot of fun. I really
It
enjoyed it.
was. It was a fun movie. Alex Peacock, is that David Copperfield or who the hell is that?
Like David Copperfield.
Just a guy with a mullet, just the wind lightly blowing.
That is an iconic look. But that's what David Copperfield is known for, the
It looked very
flashy
much like a magician
magic
about to
tricks.
go on stage kind of look, yeah.
That's him. He's a very flashy performer, but that's what made him so successful.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you, Miss Swift, not to be outdone by Steve Carell's um, what is it? Mr. Wonderstone? Is that what it? I want to say Wonderstone.
It's not Siegfried and Roy, is it?
The Incredible Burt Wonderstone from 2013. Yep. Oh, Steve Carell can parody everybody. And Miss Swift, thank you. That is Doug Henny. Oh boy, that is showing my age.
Frag Loader, is that supposed to be Houdini? Please tell me that's supposed to be Houdini.
oh man, we got a bunch of magician gifts coming up. Is that Houdini?
God, I hope so.
Doug Henny. Oh, and we have the Joker. Fraglor's doing the Joker.
Oh,
Miss Swift. That's a new one. That's got to be Shia LaBeouf. Um, totally ragging on Doug Henny, I believe.
yeah.
So yeah, but I don't think we ever got the answer to your question. Did Tom Cruise actually do that trick? I'm guessing he did.
I'm guessing he did. I wouldn't put it past him. He's a hardcore, method actor kind of guy. I love
So here's
Frag Lord's Houdini from the little Jawas from
that's
Star
what the
Wars.
Jawas say.
Yep,
Yep.
that's what they say.
Um,
Ah,
I'm not buying this, but I guess back in the 90s, the tracing technology was so archaic compared to what it is now
yeah,
that you had to have them on the phone at least 30 seconds. If this is really an NSA type agency, they're going to be able to track you a lot quicker than that.
well, I'd hope so. In the 30 years
But
since
maybe back then they couldn't.
yeah, very shrewd of Hunt though to catch it, and
Yep.
because there is a point behind it, as Kitchard says, they wanted them to know they were in London, so like he wants them to follow him.
Right. Oh, and yep, plot is going off the rails now. So he's not dead? Is this like a soap opera death where you think they die but they come back? Um, and so I think, just so we're all on track with the plot, just in case anybody is like losing the plot, they wanted to smoke out Ethan, so they had his parents arrested.
Yeah.
Kittredge had his parents arrested in what, Minnesota, was it?
His aunt and uncle, I think.
His aunt and uncle, something like that. They arrested him. Um,
They basically
taken him.
framed them for drug trafficking. They like had a bunch of money forwarded to their accounts to make them look like, drug dealers. What threw me off the most about this part of the movie was that I thought that he was figuring out, I thought he was telling Jim what Jim already knew and that he did all these things. I thought it was like very transparent, but I guess he's saying what he wants Jim to hear, but then in his mind and us, the viewer, we're seeing what actually happened. And it took me a couple of watches to really figure out what was going on here, because so there's some multiple layers.
Ah, yeah, I think, yeah, there are layers. What he's saying is not necessarily what we, the audience,
Right,
know.
right.
So it's almost like, where's the double cross? Is there like a double cross to the double cross, and who is doing what?
Yeah,
Um, but this is kind of, we're all figuring this out in real time as we're watching this.
yeah,
So I think all of these little flashback scenes is what Ethan is processing
yep.
and figuring out what had happened. And yeah, we're discovering that Jim is not
POS.
so nice guy after all.
Hmm.
Okay, Alex Peacock, just think from this to Bourne #1, they improved surveillance so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the first Bourne movie was probably more believable tech-wise, or how I would imagine the surveillance, military, covert operations industry would operate.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Alex. If this is this All My Children where Tad dives off a bridge and comes back 4 years later. No kidding. This is what they used to do in soap operas all the time. Yes, Matt. It was about this part in the movie where I thought, Jesus, this movie's still going. It's because the plot is unraveling. We're
Hey,
discovering, right?
we're coming up on the climax. Just hold your water.
Yep, we've got about 28 minutes. But now we're kind of understanding who the real bad guy is
Yeah.
and who Job is. I think that is kind of like the big reveal here, right?
And again, it's like Tom Cruise is processing this, but we, the audience, are seeing what he's thinking, not what he's saying. So it's like he's still maintaining the cover of ignorance in front of Jim here without revealing what he actually knows and what he's figured out now. So, but it's, again, it took me a few watches to really figure that part out.
I hope not, Matt. If this were Bobby returns and we realize it was all a dream.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
That's so weak.
Uh,
Swifty says Tad was nothing compared to how they brought back Jesse after 20 to 30 years. You know, Swifty, I don't even bother with the soap opera stuff, so I'm glad I didn't because, you know, God knows how entangled I'd be with all their banana shit stuff.
they used to do it on soap operas all the time.
Heck yeah.
And that's how we knew someone didn't want to negotiate their contract and wanted to take a break. They'd kill them off. Then when everything was great, they'd come back. So, okay, Alex, so what's unraveling? Sharon is making a character from the last 2 or 3 movies suddenly the son of the John Voight character from this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, so I have not seen some of the later Mission Impossible movies, but so then they take a character that takes us back to this character, to Jim Phelps's character.
Yeah, the last 2 movies, Dead Reckoning and then Final Reckoning, were really like a two-parter to kind of end the series, essentially. And then so they made a bunch of callbacks to the original film, and one of them is that one of the characters is eventually revealed to be Jim Phelps's son, and he's trying to clear his dad's name, much to the chagrin, obviously, of Tom Cruise's character, Ethan Hunt, and the rest who know the truth.
Then, okay, so that would have to be this whole other backstory if they want to exonerate Jim from his dealings in this movie.
Right.
That would be a stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Matt. Matt is saying movie improbable. That would just be stretching it too much. Oh, Miss Swift, I love my soaps. Comics were also infamous for their deaths and resurrections. Back in the heyday, me and my friends, we used to watch, not All My Children, but we used to watch Young and the Restless, General Hospital. Santa Barbara was big back when I was in college. I think Guiding Light was big back in the day. But it was fun watching it with a group of people. We'd all be watching it and all talking about it. But I think they've all gone by the wayside. All right, I'm not buying this for a second. She does not act like a woman who just lost her husband or thought that her husband had died.
Yeah, the
I'm
fact
sorry.
she's kissing his hand and pulling him towards her, and it's like, okay, all right, honey.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. Oh, Matt posted the GIF over there in Discord on the show Soap. Does everybody remember that? I remember watching that.
I remember that.
Yep.
Confused?
This is
You
the
won't
story.
be on the next episode of Soap.
Soap. Yep. This is the story of two sisters, Jessica Tate and Mary Campbell. These are the Tate, and these are the Campbell. And this is. And it's scary how I still remember that.
Almost as scary as those Casio wristwatches.
Do they still make Casio?
Dude, I had a couple of those over the years, I
Wow.
remember.
Yeah, those were some. Casio made some of the first digital watches,
Yeah.
if I'm correct, right? Oh boy, we got a lot. There's a good one. Alex Peacock on Susan Lucci. I think that's when she won her first and only Emmy
Emmy.
for playing Erica Kane. Also scary that I know that.
Followed by a gif of John Candy from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Oh. Oh, I think that was the scene that they were trying to check into the hotel. They didn't have any money and he was going to use
Okay.
his watch. Oh boy, we're in a time capsule now back to some of the shows I grew up on. Yep, Miss Swift, that's Benson. I remember Benson, which is a spin-off of Soap. Yeah, Benson used to be the the chef / housekeeper, and then went on to be working in the governor's mansion. I know all that.
Something.
Okay, here we go, guys. On the train, we're getting like a double cross, triple cross. We don't know who to trust.
Well, we know Job is there. We know that Max is there, and they're trying to get. I didn't know that.
Yep, Kidrich is there. Claire is there. We haven't seen Ethan,
Yeah.
but this is an interesting. When I was doing my pre-watch, I noticed this technology. They're trying to send the signal from the laptop on a moving train, which back in '96 would have been unheard of because there was, at that time, there was no such thing as like cell towers.
Right.
Hooking your computer up to the satellite was unheard of.
Yeah, especially on a London terminus, which is like the Shinkansen in Japan. It's running like hundreds of miles an hour, so. Nokia.
Yeah. Cell phones were unheard of back then. So we do have some pretty interesting technology here. And there we have Mr. Blonde, long-haired guy who was sitting at the park bench before.
Ms. Swift, that GIF, I ought to have you all shot. What movie is that from?
I don't recognize that actor.
Yeah. Old Giant Devic, I did have a Nokia for a time too myself.
I remember, okay, so Calbot is saying, had to look it up, but that was Susan Lucci's 19th nomination. I think they were finally, just give it to her already, stop torturing the poor woman. That is exactly what happened. Every single year, she was nominated and lost every single year. And I think at a certain point, they just gave it to her because they didn't know how much longer the soaps would be around, and she had to walk away with something.
Yeah. I like that Ving Rhames' character is just hiding in the bathroom there.
Okay, so we have Claire was telling, okay, we're learning that Claire is now what? I don't want to
Well,
say anything.
She knows that
But
Jim is alive, which means that she was lying before.
yeah, so we saw her communicating with someone, but now she's communicating with Jim about taking out Ethan. So she is now like a double crossing agent.
Yeah.
Um, and
I love this stuff,
and
though.
we don't know who to trust. Bum 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 bum. The big reveal.
Men in Halloween masks.
And he set her up, so now he knows she was out to set him up, and she knew all along Jim was alive.
Yep. They didn't
Oh,
know
Miss
that
Swift
Jim
is
was
saying
a
it's from
cannibal.
Band of Brothers.
Oh.
Ah, Band of Brothers. That's one worth revisiting if you guys haven't seen it.
It came out
I
after
haven't seen
all
it in a while.
the Saving Private Ryan stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Band of Brothers was well worth my time. Oh yeah, she's gonna try to talk her way out of it. Whatever.
Well, she just wants to know, like, how he knew.
Ethan knows everything. Right? Because he had to have stayed alive for all of these movies. He's got to be smarter than everybody else.
But I like that Phelps, like, tried to, like, basically whore out his wife, basically, in order to make this work.
Yeah, obviously he had no problem. Well, back in 96, we're looking at the disc was worth $10 million. That's what they would have gotten. Back then, it was probably a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me, guys, if you guys know the money, it's that money that's just printed. Are those like real bills, or
There's
how would 10
something.
million?
There's something like bearer bonds. I can't remember what what it was part of what Ethan actually asked for from Max. I can't remember what the format was, but it's supposed to be some sort of like condensed version of
Okay,
hard
so it's not
currency.
money.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So at this point, we know Kittredge was not in on it, and he was a good guy the whole time, right? Okay.
just doing his job. It's over, Jim.
It's over. The jig is up.
You're dead, Jim.
I'm a Jim. I'm a doctor, not a miracle worker. So the ultimate bad guy in all of this is Jim Phelps. He's the
Yeah.
one that kind of masterminded this whole thing.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah. So
I guess that's why Peter Graves didn't come back to this. But I mean, it's like it's a great twist. Like, why wouldn't you like if you're not don't want to play Jim Phelps, at least play like a cameo and like the one of the guys in the CIA or something, just to show that you're still a part of it. Like you don't, like how much loyalty do you have to a character that's 30 years old at this point when this movie came out?
Um, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe maybe he was just so endeared to the character that he helped create that he didn't want this to be the send off of his character. I can understand that. Um, but maybe what they could have done is give him another character to play,
Yeah.
and as a way of honoring the show that went before,
I wonder
because
if
that would have been cool.
I mean, I imagine that this must have been like computer generated at some point, but I wonder how much of this was actual stunts and whatnot, given Cruise's proclivity for doing his own stunts and everything. I'm sure they weren't on the top of a actual train that was going hundreds of miles per hour, but
Right, but this was, from what I understand, this was very much a practical effect.
yeah,
Um, a lot of this, yeah, 96, we're getting into like the CGI phase.
yeah,
Um, but it was practically done, and Tom Cruise and John Voight both had um, the wind creating this. It looks like they're on a moving train, so they had to get a high enough wind to make it look like they're going, what, 140 kilometers an hour, whatever it
yeah.
was at this time. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's a real effect, and Tom Cruise did his own stunts.
And I love this because you look at him being hooked onto the train, you think, oh, that's the end of him, that's the end of the bad guy, but actually, he actually extends the scene.
Yes, Matt, that is a practical effect from Batman. Oh, the comedic Batman. I always loved it when they did that. And they would have a window just opening up on a wall.
That's so fun.
Johnny Devitt, yeah, James Cameron would just send the helicopter into the tunnel. And that is what makes this effect so unbelievable, is that he's hooked to the train and yet able to fly in the tunnel.
Yeah,
And he seems so calm piloting the helicopter.
yeah. Well, Johnny Devick is probably referencing that part in Terminator 2 where the helicopter pilot flies under the overpass and it's like it looks almost like an effect, but they actually just got a pilot to fly underneath it straight away and, not crash and whatnot, and they completed the shot that way.
This makes for a very, very effective action sequence, however far-fetched it may be.
Yep.
But yeah, once you go down the road of making action movies, then you have to keep upping the game.
Yep.
And so this stunt, you push it a couple years and you have another Mission Impossible, well, then you have to one up this
Yep.
to the point where the latest Mission Impossible, some of the stunts that Tom Cruise did in the later movies that I keep reading about are just insane.
Yep.
But he has a habit of just one upping himself. You got to do it bigger, better, faster.
Yeah.
And yeah, he needs to be uninsurable at this point to not do stunts.
Johnny Depp says, Mon Dieu. So let's not bring French into this, Johnny, okay? Come on. We don't need that.
What does that mean in French? Do I have to get a translator?
Mon Dieu, it's just like, my God. It's like, it's like, oh. I mean, apparently the most unrealistic thing about this sequence is the fact that the explosion would have blown Cruise back onto the train, But for an action movie, it works.
Exactly. It does. Because you were always looking for new effects. And this is a new one. He just made it.
Yeah, that's right. And just barely that helicopter blade missed his throat.
I mean,
But it is Mission Impossible, so you gotta just barely skirt by.
but yeah, you're right. I think Matt had posted that comment, Mission Improbable. At some points, it's so funny, you just have to laugh.
Yeah.
But I think you know what? That's what makes these kind of movies so much fun. Even though we know what we're in for, a lot of it is going to be generic.
Yeah.
We still want those crashes. We still want the chases. We want the action. We just want a good time.
Yeah. Tom Cruise keeps changing his shirt, but he's still got that leather sport coat, man. He's still rocking that.
Does he wear it in some of the later movies?
I don't think he was wearing it in the later movies, but at least in this one, he keeps going back to it.
Well, so one of the guys that he thought he could trust turns out to be double crossing him. Makes you wonder who you can trust.
Yeah. Miss Swift posted a scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Fesh lavage? Like my French is a little rusty, Swifty. If you could tell me what that means there, I'd appreciate it.
Or we'll put it through Google Translate.
I mean, I know one or two languages other than English. At least the Indo-European root languages I can probably figure out. But I'll Swifty says, "Fetch the cow." Thank you. That makes sense.
Oh, because that's when they were going to start shooting the cows over. Yep.
I thought this was a great scene too. To especially
Ethan
leave that open-ended for a sequel.
Yep, and Ethan is the last man standing. He kind of wants to retire, right? He wants out of the game. Not so, Stephen. There you go, guys. That was Mission Impossible. Went fast. Told you it would. Swift is saying, still amazed at the franchise juggernaut this turned into.
Yeah,
I am
Swifty.
as well. It has lasted from 96 to almost
2026.
Right.
2025, really.
And Tom Cruise has been with the franchise from the start. There you go. And so you guys are probably, next week is going to be Legend, right? Another Tom Cruise speciality from 1985.
Yep. Ridley Scott.
So that'll be interesting. I can't tell you the last time I had seen that, so I will be doing a pre-watch. It has got amazing. Yeah, there you go, Alex. Tim Curry, an amazing actor. Yeah, he must have gone through torture to get in that makeup day in and day out. So, any last comment, guys, before we sign off for today? Any of your last comments? Hope y'all liked it. It was, if it wasn't the best movie ever made, it wasn't the worst. I can tell you by next week. Yeah, next week is May 31st. Yeah. I will have June laid out. There no promises on getting the whole summer laid out, but we'll go month to month. Give you guys a heads up on what we're doing.
Hmm.
Um, and alrighty, any last words, Mr. Furzel?
Oh, it was a great action flick. I mean, you got to respect the legacy, the fact that it's still been going strong for, for the better part of 30 years or so, and looks like it might be wrapping up, but I could see them extending it too, because the last movie did kind of leave it open-ended, but I like the fact that this movie, I mean, in spite of the time it came out, the technology still feels fresh, still feels similar to what we're using today, so... it's just a great time all around.
I totally agree. Miss Swift is saying they got slightly better. Yeah, so this first one was not critically, um, what,
Acclaimed.
well thought of at the time. A lot of critics didn't like it, some did. But yeah, maybe over time they got better. I would hope so, because
Yeah.
it has been successful, right? Johnny Devick, it was a blast. I feel it's a bit meh movie, but it has some great shots here and there. Yeah, it was a great time. And we aim to have a great time. Not always the best movie, but that's okay.
Swifty says, "Why kill the Cash Vash when you can still keep milking it?"
Yeah, and even if Cruz is too old, if they can still resurrect it and get every last penny out of our pockets,
Yep.
they'll keep doing it.
Oh, sure.
So, all right. Well, maybe I'll catch another one in this series. I'll go back and see if I haven't seen the second one. I'll take a look at it. Oh, see, thank you, Eric. The second one was a little better, but the third one is where it really started to get very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's revisit, we'll watch some of the other movies. We'll discuss in some of the later watch parties. We might even pick up one or two of the sequels in future watch parties. Who knows? Alrighty. Well, it has been a pleasure as always, and thank you all for joining me today. Thank you, Mr. Furzel. It has been a pleasure.
Oh, always a pleasure here.
It's always a pleasure to be here every Sunday. We'll do more of my impromptu chats. I had a blast doing it before this watch party, doing different things as time permits. And yeah, be on the lookout for new things on the horizon. And next week, same time, same channel for Legend. Signing off. You guys have a safe week. Be good to yourself.
Have
Thank
a
you,
happy
Mr. First.
Memorial Day weekend, folks.
And happy Memorial Day. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
Later, Gators.